The topic of the next scenario is intended route with ship-to-ship communication. This time the participants are sailing 3 vessels simultaneously. The attention will be on the transmitted intended routes of other vessels to avoid close areas. There will be several corrections of the route because of the traffic situation.
The crews and also the mariners have to check whether the informations are good for them, if there are too many informations, if the informations are complex enough, or is the display cluttering with all the intended routes or not. So they have to check and choice on their own which intended routes they want to see and which information they want to have.
The scenario will take place in a wind park, in a wind farm, and that is very tricky to navigate because the rows are very tight together and there's not much space in between.
Because of the intense traffic situation, observing and checking the intended routes of other vessels is very important.
We got no crossing vessels. Okay, one is just right now in front of us.
One is passing clear.
Is passing clear already, and the other one from starboard 2 point is also crossing clear.
Okay, the big one on starboard will be passing clear later on. Yeah, the Mexico City. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, correct.
Chief Med,
Yes.
please could you display the planned routes from the other vessels, please?
Yes, all the other routes.
Okay, well, are there any other conflicts?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment, no?
Everything's fine.
And after the course change, it's also no conflict, no?
No conflicts yet.
Okay. Both vessels, they follow the route on our port side?
Yes, they are all following their route.
Then they go straight
go
away and they
straight away.
crossing later on?
Of course,
that's
yes.
Okay, very well, thank you.
The participants had to change their course because they had planned the wrong route.
Please change over on hand steering, please. Second.
Switching over to hand steering. Taking over the wheel at 306.
306, yeah. Please starboard 20.
Starboard 20. Rudder starboard 20.
East to 10.
East to 10.
Midships.
Midship.
And later on, steady on 355.
Steady 355. Passing 350.
350, thank you. And Chief Med, please prepare a new alternative route to high.
Heading 355.
Thank you. Then we can turn back to autopilot.
Turning back to autopilot.
Thank you.
A last change of the course to ship through the transport separation scheme.
With the scenario 6, we were going through the wind park and also had many other vessels around us. And we were able to manage optimal track through the wind park and through the vessels.
Again, the evaluation followed after the scenario.
So I do believe it was more complex, and there were positive results in the evaluation. The participants were playing around with the functionality of seeing the intended routes on screen, so it gave them some useful information. They were positive about it. So then they can accordingly base their decisions on maneuvering and avoiding collisions. I mean, they can pre-plan. And we got some feedback on the functionality itself. So there is input for the developers to improve the tool, improve the functionality, and improve how these routes are presented.
The third scenario is again about intended routes and ship-to-ship communication. This time, the participants are sailing with 21 other vessels in the area offshore East Anglia.
So today it's the same scenario all the time. We just switch the positions of the bridges, so the bridge crew will change the vessel. The only difference is that we have different weather conditions, and we will also have some ships in this scenario that are not following their intended routes.
Starboard 20, please.
Rudder starboard 20.
Thank you. Can increasing the speed again. Okay. Then we passing this vessel by and also the others, no?
Okay.
And, turning more over starboard to the southwest.
Okay.
And second, please come more to starboard. Next course, 210, please.
210.
So the sailing yacht, we will pass it clear.
Over here's the CLOD New York. She doesn't have any intended track.
I try just to get a bearing. The radar is also not working properly.
But they're coming from port side, so I think we keep our track and speed, so it's okay.
That's right. Shipmate, could you check the intention of the vessel on our port side, the front page? What is the planned route?
The planned route is going straight, so we will pass parallel, so it's okay. They're on the opposite track.
What will be the closest point?
1 mile, but I think the radar is more accurate.
Okay, the front page is passing well. Are there any conflicts yet?
No. Also, all
Looks
well
good, yeah?
clear of us.
Okay. No, second we can switch over to the automatic.
Switching over to autopilot.
Yeah, okay.
125.
Yeah, thank you.
In this case, the EPD was quite useful for the beginning, but if there is coming a ship from port side, turning around to port side and getting in our way, you have to call these vessels and ask them about their intention, even if the EPD shows a route which is very clear.
At the last evaluation, the feedback gets more and more valuable. Due to the experiences of all scenarios, the participants have their own ideas how to integrate the solutions.
So what we're doing here is extremely useful because it can be as close to reality as it can get. And we've had 45-minute 10 exercises. So you're looking at about a total of 450 minutes of rigorous testing. And this really helps us evaluate the tool itself. You've got feedback for the developers, and what we take from it is real input from people who matter.
We may have had some assumptions regarding tactical route exchange that wasn't true or that didn't hold up when we saw how the mariners were actually working on the bridge. But then again, we saw other potential uses that we hadn't identified beforehand. So I think this has given us a real good, clear idea of how the mariners are working and how this could be beneficial for them.
At the end of the day, we want it to contribute to their goal of safe navigation. We don't want to risk it, and we don't want to take anything away from it. So according to that, of course, they are helping us identify the training needs, which would be to keep it as simple as possible, integrate it within existing training regimes, and to identify the value the functionality brings to them. So if they need to see it, it should be available to them. So that's our job, to present it to them in the best possible manner.